So you left a job and now you're wondering if you'd be eligible to work there again. My name is JT O'Donnell and welcome to Coaching Moment. This is the YouTube series that helps you remove the roadblocks to career success. And one of the questions we got from a viewer recently was the idea of how to know if you could actually go back to an old employer and get hired there again. This is a great question because the truth is not everybody is eligible for rehire, and that's something you want to figure out before you go through the time and effort of applying there. So the first thing that I'm going to tell you to do is to simply call the HR department or office manager. Most companies will keep on your file literally whether or not you're eligible for rehire. You can call up and say that. I used to work there from these dates. I held this position, and I was curious if I am eligible for a rehire and that I could apply for jobs that are open. They'll give you a quick answer there. If you're not eligible for rehire, you can ask why. They probably won't give you the information, but it doesn't hurt to ask why. Now, the second step might feel redundant, but it is really important to do, and that is actually have a friend, a family member, somebody call up and do a reference check on you at this employer. So again, they're going to call maybe your manager or the HR department, and they're going to say, I'm thinking about hiring so-and-so. I'd like to do a reference check on them. Would you provide a reference for them? Can you tell me if they're eligible for rehire? And the reason I say that is that while maybe they told you you were, if an actual employer calls, they might say no, and you really want to figure out what's going on there. Sometimes, unfortunately, companies aren't always truthful. So having somebody do this reference check on you is going to validate that. You're also going to hear what they're saying about you, and that's going to help you understand if there's anything negative coming through in that check so that you can be proactive when you're out interviewing and let them know that, hey, when they call, you may not get the most glowing of recommendations. We have more information on that here. You can watch some of our other videos. But again, the real key here is to get to the bottom of whether or not the reference and the validation for employment is valid. Now, once you know that, I still tell you to take one more step, and that is to find at least one, preferably a couple of champions within the organization. These are people that you know that are currently working there, that, like you, can see you working at the organization and would actually go to bat on your behalf. These are the individuals that you want to reach out to the hiring managers of the open positions and say, hey, do you remember so-and-so? They used to work here. They're thinking about applying. Do you think it's worth their time to apply? Would you consider hiring them? The reason I say that is because even if you're eligible for rehire, some managers may not want to hire you. Others may be okay with it. It's going to be individual depending on the department. So having that champion, that internal person saying, hey, they're really great, they did great work while they were here, can help shape and influence the mindset of that hiring manager and get them to consider you for that role. So there you have it. Make sure you call up and find out if you're eligible. Make sure you have somebody do a reference check, and definitely make sure you start to build some champions in the organization who can really go out there and promote you to those hiring managers. If you do these things, this is one of the best ways for you to be able to know if you can be rehired and certainly get that job when you apply. Okay, questions, comments, feedback. You know what to do. Put it down below. Of course, I really want to see you in the next video, so make sure you subscribe. And until next time, what do I always tell you? If you want to win, you've got to work it daily.